Yeah, this has turned out to be a pretty beautiful January day. They really are hiding something from you. They're not telling you about this. This is a very peaceful place. Welcome back to another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. We're going to go on another search today looking for some beautiful places. I am taking off for a campground in southeast Oklahoma. Kind of a real quiet place. It is winter, so there's not going to be too many people there. And I got a spot reserved right on this little mountain lake. It's got good reception, so it's kind of a hidden place. I thought about starting this video with, boy, this is what they're hiding from you in southeast Oklahoma. You know, a lot of the thumbnails I see lately are just that. This is what they're hiding from you. And you know what they're exploiting is people's anxiety right now about the future. And I'm not going to do that. I hope you notice there's something different, that I'm not going to exploit people's anxiety by saying, oh man, they're hiding something from you at this campsite I'm going to. This is what they're hiding from you. My ethics are a little bit different. I started my channel as a way to stay in touch with my parents during the pandemic. And I was hoping to be an influencer to tell my parents that there are good and beautiful things out here in the world. I didn't actually start sharing my videos with my dad until he was admitted to the nursing home after a COVID infection. So I do get emails requesting that I would feature a product on my channel. And I have become increasingly dissatisfied with the quality of products in general. They seem to make them with a little catch that makes it break rather quickly, so that you need to replace it quickly. And I am generally dissatisfied with the quality of products, and I'm just not going to get into that game of recommending something so someone else can make a buck. And I'm just a vehicle for them to make a quick buck. More of this conversation later. We have arrived. Well, this is Sardis Lake. The prediction was sunny weather today, but I don't think that's what we got. I'm going to get set up here. I think the wind is strong today, but it seems okay right here. So I'm not going to move my site. I'm right here on the water, and I'm just going to set up right here and take it in. So this is site 85 right on the water here. Got some old trees that stick out of the ground from when the Army Corps flooded the lake. It's quiet, it's peaceful. Not bad. You can see some of the mountains in the distance here. There's nobody out here, and there are heated bathrooms again. That's just kind of cheating. In this video, I'm going to repeat the ease of setting up my Gazelle T4 hub tent. I like the tent. There is a weather change coming, so that probably means that some wind is going to be coming too, because you can't shift your temperature and weather pattern without something bringing it to you. So we probably are going to have some strong winds later. I will again use those 4Runner Stratchits to tie out the sides of my gazelle tent to resist that wind that is very likely to be coming later. One reason I like these Stratchits is because they have an elastic quality to them, so when the wind hits, it's not a harsh resistance. There's a little give to it. Maybe doesn't damage the tent material. That's my hope. This was not really my idea. This came from Warren when we were camping at Black Mesa, and we just had a wind blast just come through the campground.
Well, the sun has finally come out here, and wow, what a difference. Clouds are getting blown away. They're going to the north. And I'm just gonna enjoy this 60-degree weather. I'm gonna hop on my mountain bike and just go around the campground a little bit. Cruise around the campground, maybe go down some of the closed loops. I'm in the only one that's not gated off. This has turned out to be a pretty beautiful January day.
Just to orient you, I am riding on the eastern edge of Sardis Lake. Here is a nice map from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. It shows the loops on these little fingers that poke out into the eastern side of the lake. This is really nice, and boy is it quiet today with nobody else here.
I really love getting out in the campgrounds when there is absolutely no one out. Just empty. Just quiet, peaceful. The only thing that would make it better was if my wife was with me, but she had a delivery coming today and she could not leave. And I wanted to get out tonight because it's a little warmer tomorrow. The temperature's going to drop down 15 degrees and colder maybe. So yeah, tonight was the night. All these loops are beautiful. I bet you come springtime, this will be packed. There will be not an open spot. And I bet in fall it's also packed. But these are really, really nice sights. A little bit of cedar, a little bit of deciduous trees. What a nice mix. Whitecaps on the water. Warren, Natalie and Warren, the two that go with me different places. He has sold me his old drone, and I used that in the last video. I don't know if the quality is good or if it was just the lighting at the time, but that's kind of my disposable drone for high risk sort of drone shots.
This is some of the most windy, sustained windy camping that I have ever done. This was pretty significant, and obviously accommodations for wind are starting to have to be made. My experience in Missouri at Pin Oak Lake was probably more becoming the norm, and I have to try to figure out a way to make this work in the wind. Despite the wind, I believe this is the most beautiful winter sunset that I've ever seen. That water structure sticking out in the middle of the lake there probably had to have access by workers, and they probably left this loop open because they had to have it open anyway for the workers. So yeah, it's not very sightly down there, but the sunset kind of has quite a glimmer to it that you can hardly see it anyway. Right now, the temperature of this wind is pretty moderate, and it appears to be coming from the southwest. I believe I'm still going to take a chance here, and I'm going to launch that drone and just see what I can capture of this sunset. This is pretty beautiful. That truck right there is the only vehicle I have seen in the campground all day long. Obviously, they know how to disconnect and find out what's really hidden. This man pulled in past me with a big smile on his face. He and his wife waved. Clearly, they were not tuned in to the strain and stress of the world. They were here to just take in this sunset. Sometimes the anxiety of all types of media hides this from all of us. I am cheating again. I'm just plugging into the electric, and I'm gonna run it on setting 1 tonight. Low is about 39 degrees, so we'll just see how this works out. A little bit windy out there. I am very glad that I have the Stratchits. They hold the sides of the tent out. They do stretch a little bit so they aren't like hard and they're gonna rip the tent material. So they have a little give to them. The temperature in here was actually hot until this wind picked up. Now I'm putting my fleece on. Well, I ran the diesel heater last night on 1 and sweated me out last night. I had to get out of my sleeping bag at one point and just cool off. And this is how much fuel it used for one night on setting 1. It was about 39 last night. It's not a bad deal just carrying like a little toolbox with you and staying warm. I have to say I'm pretty happy with that. A 15-mile-per-hour wind was coming in from the northwest with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. I had trouble keeping the lid to my bar box open, so I flipped it around so the wind would hold it open as a wind block against my little stove. It was warm enough to use this little butane stove, but boy, it took a long time with that wind blowing to get this water to boil. Wind is cold. take the record for the coldest and windiest pack up. The temperature really wasn't that bad. It was the wind coming out of the northwest. It was cold. The temperature here had not yet dropped, but the wind was really, really cold. It was down to about 36, 37, but wow, that was cold.